one announcement for those who are in online. Please, if you have any query, you write it down on the MS Team chat box or in the WhatsApp group, not to my personal WhatsApp. I'm not seeing any message during the session. So please write your questions on my Teams chat box or WhatsApp group. Okay, so some of you have some query regarding that. Still, I have some doubts regarding that heading style. So I'll repeat it again. So the steps first, for the modifying your the heading style. First, what you need to do? You need to select the multi-level list. Remember, in the multi-level list, you have to select your multi-level list according to your requirements, or else it would be difficult for you to modify it. Yes, you can do it. You can modify it later, but that would be difficult task. So better to first you select your multi-level list and then you modify your heading style according to your level-wise heading style. Okay. So first select your multi-level list, or examples. Like go to this multi-level list and then select these two heading levels are there. So you can select any one. So let's say I have selected this one, and then now I'll start modifying my level-wise heading style. First level, second level, third level, fourth level, whatever level you want. If you want to go to up to 6th level, 7th level, that you can do. You can do it. So that's not a problem. So for now, let's say, so you right click on it on the heading 1. So then you'll get an options of modify. Then accordingly you need to modify it. So the see the default text is here. Okay, I'm using the different documents. Sorry. So again, so say if I've selected the list, then heading will modify. So modify. Now the default is your Calibri, right? So change it to Times New Roman. Let's say it is 16. Keep it as it is 16. Bold. Color is automatic. Now your font is sorted. The font you have change your font. Next is you have to change your paragraphs. So go to the format. Drop down. There you will find the paragraph formatting. Font I have already done. This is nothing but what I have done. This is nothing but the font part, right? So now go to the paragraphs. So here the paragraphs, see by default you having hanging of 0.76 centimeter, or some of you might go to 1.27 centimeter. Okay, this is the default settings or the systems are at. So according to your requirement, if you want to align your all these heading and subheading that same in the same alignment, then you can decide a fixed amount of your indent, for example 0.5 or 0.75, and then accordingly you can follow for all the headings. Okay, that is up to you. What amount of what is the amount that you want to indent. Okay, so default value is there. For example, let's keep it as it is by our default value. So before and after, so let's take it as a 12 before and after. So if anyone is using the 2007, anyone 2007 versions of Word? Okay, if anyone using 2007, so like in that case, that spacing, whatever the spacings you are giving, most probably as far as I remember, that it used to be like that. 20 like 12 spacing before and after 12 spacing for those in 2007 versions. There might be like you will see the spacing of 24. That because for a paragraphs, it before that previous paragraphs you have an a spacing of after 12, and your next paragraphs you before have 12. So that 12 will become a 24. But the current versions of let's say 13, 16 or 10, that you don't need to bother about this. So it will automatically, like if you are giving before and after 12, so there will be spacing of only 12. So whatever the amount that you want, you don't need to bother about it. But if you are using previous version, then you have to check it if it is whether it is giving you the 24 or it is 12. So here we are considering this 12. Let's say before I need before I need 12 or after I need 12, or since it is an level one of heading, then you can keep the before spacing as 0. That because our heading 1 is always start from a new page, right? So if you don't want to give any space between your that top margin or it is like header and your heading, So then you can keep it as 0. Now, if you want certain amount of space, then whatever space you want, you can give it. Okay. So let's say I don't want any space for my heading 1 before I don't want any space. So I'll keep it as 0. And after is 12. So don't have space between paragraphs on the of the same style. If you want it, like if you don't want any space, if you are giving indent, then if you are not giving any space between paragraph, that is fine. But if you are not giving indent also and not giving any space, then it will be difficult to differentiate between your two paragraphs, right? So either you have to give indent, first line indent, or the space between your paragraphs, same style paragraphs. So hanging is as it is, let it as it is. See here the alignment one. Now, for example, somebody wants like your chapter or head chapter name or chapter 1 in the center, and rest of this your subheading, this second level, third level, fourth level as a left alignment or justified alignment. So if you want it as a center, in the center, chapter 1 in the centers, you can select it. Or if it is if you are okay with it, left alignment or justified alignment, that you can do it. So for example, let's say keep it as a left alignment. So justify the here you will find some difficulty in the justified alignment if your heading is more than one line. So more than one line. Now if I now justified alignment, you will find some uncertainty or non-uniformity between the spaces, between spaces. So you have to manage it or something like using hyphen or something like that, but it is not look good like if your heading is having hyphen, like half of the your word is at the first line, then next to the second line. This is not look good. So better like if such case arises, now you can keep it as a left alignment or as a center alignment. So that will be easier for you. So multiple, or I can use it at the exactly, that is exactly is on 16 here, because my font size is 16. So that is as it is. Okay. Now the numbering. Now I want the instead of 1, let's say I want this as a chapter 1. Okay. So that you need to see. You don't need any tabs because indent tabs already been given. So tabs is mostly for indent purposes. So let's say in the border, we don't need any border here. Language. So it's already there. Language already default, the default settings we have created. So default language is there. Then change the frame. You don't need frame also here. Numbering. So I have already created previously, since I have already created this new number list, it is there in the chapter 1 or 2. Now, for example, I don't have this one, so remove it. Okay, so if you are like, you will see if you have not created, you will see like this. If you have not created this one, the chapter 1 or chapter 2, if you know, so what you have to do, you don't remove that number. This is the field value actually. Like this will be connecting your like your table of content or whatever it is. So before that number, you write your chapter. And make sure you have selected this number style. From that number style, you have selected that number format, whatever the format you want. If you want it in Roman format, that also you can select it from there. Okay, and the font is already you have selected here on. So here you also change the font also, Times New Roman, bold, and then I have it was 16, I guess, 16. Okay. Okay. So then you should have select this automatically updated, or else you have to like every headings you have to go to the every heading and you have to update it. If you select automatically updated in your documents, wherever you have like you have defined your heading, wherever you have defined those things, that will be automatically updated if you have if you enable this automatically update options. Okay. So now my chapter 1 completed. So let's say introduction, chapter 1 is your introduction, and 2 Richard. So these are my, let's say these are my chapter 1 heading, right? So now come to the second level heading. So again, second level heading, you need to change your content. Second level heading. So again, select, right click and then modify. So let's consider it as in the font size is 12. And rest all other things as it is same. Bold, color is automatic. Then paragraph. So here I want, but before I need, but because my heading style, first level heading, I need spacing between first level heading and my 7 level heading. So I'm giving before and after both. Remember the for the heading, the level 1 heading, we have ignored the before spacing. In first level, I say before that because I don't want like any space between my documents and my document margin and the top margin and the first heading. Okay, now here for the second level headings, I want spacing between my first level heading and second level heading, and also for with paragraph also. So here I'm considering both the spacing before and after both. Okay, so 12 12. So let's make it an exactly. So the font size is here 12 14. Same things, and also we are not considering the mirror indents, assuming that we will not we are not considering the double-sided printing. We'll once when we create the custom template, and that time we will consider it. Okay, or maybe in custom template also you can ignore it. That because your template you will be using your template for certain section. So for certain section that has to be printed in a single page. Okay, so in the in a particular documents where you would for example chapter 1 chapter 2 you will be printing both sides. So in that case you can manually change that indent, the mirror indents for a particular document. So now exactly hanging is 1.02. See here the default value is different, but if you want to keep it in a uniform, you can keep it throughout the styles. Make sure you have enabled all these things. The window or font control, keep it text, keep lines together, but don't enable this page break before. Again, I don't need to change the number style. We are okay with 1.1, 1.2, right? So we are okay with that, and we don't need to change the number style. But if you want to change that, if you, for example, if you want it in Roman style, or if you want it in a different format of numberings as per your requirement, if you want it in a number in like letter numbering A, B, C, D, that you can change it if you want. Now, for example, we are okay with 1.1, 1.2. So now again select this one, automatically updated. Okay, so let's give someone a heading. Okay, one thing I'll show you, like we use a format painter, a format painter for this one. So for examples, I have not given any heading in this in chapter 1. See heading, let's say the heading 2, I have not given any style, right? So now I want the style same as this heading 2. Okay, for example, so now you can use this format painter. Click on format painter and then brush it. Here you will get it. See 1.1. So whatever the format this heading, this one is have, the 2.1, it has been copied to 1.1. That's my first chapter heading. So that is in format painter you can use. If you want, you can use that format painter as well. So now same is for the heading 3. Now you can modify it by yourself also. So Times New Roman size, let's keep it a 12 size only. Bold, automatic. Again paragraphs. So these are the this is enabled. These are enabled. No problem. Hanging is now it is 1.27. 12. So the numberings will be as it is 1.1.1 and that format, third level format, and I will automatically update it. So add some third level heading here. Okay, so this way you can change it your the fourth level or fifth level, sixth level in a similar fashion, right? But only things you need to pre-decide whatever the font size, what will be your font size, whether it will be a bold or italic. So those things you have to pre-decide for your thesis or whatever the document that you are writing. So that you need to be pre-decide and uniformly you just modify your heading style. Okay, so now if I want, let's say, just ignore this part, page break and all these things we'll come to later. For timing, just ignore this page break part. We'll be doing the subsequent sections. We'll be doing that. So I'm just for showing it. I'm just giving different pages here. Okay, so now we have different chapters in my different pages. So now if I want to if I want to insert my table of content, just you need to go to the reference. Table of contents, and from here you can choose the table of contents. I like different. For example, if I choose this one. So you see all this, like here I have up to heading 3. Now for example, in your thesis, if you might have the heading style up to 7th level, right? But you don't want in your table of content, you don't want up to that level, right? For example, you want up to 3rd level or up to 4th level, so that you can modify. So the table of contents, you can modify those things. Custom table of contents, click on this custom table of contents. The show levels here is 4, right? That is up to 4th level. The heading or subheadings up to 4th levels will be showing in the table of contents, and that if you have 5th or 6th level, it is not going to show you in the table of contents, right? So you can change it accordingly. If you want to up to 3rd level, that also you can change it 2nd level. And here also show page number, right align page number, and how you are like in between the page numbers and the content, what do you want as a leader. So you have different types of dots. So you based on whatever you want, that you can select here from that modify for table of content modified. So here this one is now a hyperlink. So hyperlink says if you are hyperlink these things, like in table of contents, suppose you want to directly go to some particular section. So if you click on that sections, if you are enable the hyperlink, that if you click on the section, automatically you will jump to that pages. Okay, so that page you will automatically jump to that page. You don't need to scroll down and go to that pages, right? If you are enable that hyperlink even in the if you convert it to the PDF also, if you enable this hyperlink in the table of contents, the hyperlink enabled, so that you can jump to the any pages from your table of content, any sections you can jump to that page. There are some modify list also there. So accordingly, if you want, you can change it, modify options, their font style and all these things. Now the levels, like if you want to change your levels also, see here we have heading 1 up to consider up to 4th heading, right? 1 2 3 4. So we have TOC level, a table of content level 1 2 3 4 5 3 4. Generally you don't want to edit change this one, right? Like you have done it in a sequence manner only. Heading 1 is my 1, heading 2. No, by any chance, for example, by any chance, if you have like misplaced heading 1 with heading 2 or heading 2 with heading 1, then that option page you don't need to again modify it. Just go to this option page and just flip it. For heading 1, you just give it a level 2, and heading 2, give it level 1. If you have done some mistakes but in our case, you have done it in sequence wise. Heading 1 is my first level, heading 2 is my second level. You have done it sequence wise. If you have made some mistakes, then you can change it accordingly in that. You don't need to again format it and all these things. So now this style can also be changed in heading. Here you have this TOC heading. So you accordingly you can change it, modify. And remember, here you have different heading. You have to do it individually. For first, you need to do heading like heading 1, then heading 2, and then heading 3. You have till heading 4, right? In table of contents, you want up to 4th level. So you need to edit. You need to modify it. Say in like this only, like heading 1, then heading 2, then heading 3, heading 4. That mostly the font formatting only here. So I think that you can do it by yourself. Similarly the same fashion. What you have done for the heading 1, the first level, second level, third level, fourth level. This one is the here only. Just click on the drop down, and there you will have TOC heading, table of content heading. Okay, so any doubt about regarding the heading style? Yeah.
Like in the first chapter, given the second heading, 1.2, but in the second chapter, it's still coming 1.3.
Okay. Again, so did you select that one, that multi-level listings from starting?
Actually, this was an old file already created. So
yeah, no issues. You
okay,
just
so I selected this one.
Multi-level.
Okay.
Then you give it to the deciding one, right? Then no, it's there. Why it is coming from one only? At the end of the session,
Fine.
Last part. Which last part? 1.1. Okay. इसमें नहीं आ रहा था 4.1. ओके ये थर्ड लेवल है हाँ सारे यहाँ पे 2 डिफरेंट हेडिंग फॉर्मेट जनरेट हो चुका है कि यहाँ पे एक भी है यहाँ पे एक है तो कुछ सेक्शंस क्या है इस लेवल का है हो गया है कुछ सेक्शन इसी लेवल का हो गया मैं डिलीट कर दूं हाँ कुछ डिलीट कौन सा क्या है या फिर आप यूनिफॉर्मली ये सबको ऐसे ही इसी का ये रेंज में कर सकते हैं यूनिफॉर्मली तो करने के बाद वो आ जाएगा मोस्ट ऑफली देखिए नहीं तो लास्ट में मैं फिर से एक बार डिस्कस
I want to start with 1 and 2. But this is continue for 4 and 5.
Okay, you select no listing. So that is the reason, but first you have to select this multi-level listings, right? You want what you want here from starting from one. So like Roman 1, 2. Yeah. So what you can do from here itself, you can define, okay. Set number value. So you can change it from here. Either continuous from previous list or start a new list. That one thing happened.
Okay.
But if you have select multi-level listing, like if you want it in heading wise, that first you have to select that multi-level. This two multi-level is there. We need to anyone, and then you edit the heading. Otherwise, it's from there itself you can start. Yeah. The option will just start new or continuous from previous list. ये वाला लास्ट में फिर से बरेटेड ओके फिर से बरेटेड और लास्ट सेकंड क्लास yes any questions from online people? Okay, this heading style, if you have any doubt regarding this heading style, at the end of the sessions, I'll discuss about this heading style again. So like for time constant, I'm continuing my second part. At the end of the sessions, I'll again discuss it, the heading style. Those who have any query. Update. That table of contents in table of contents, right? Okay, so like for example, I am removing this heading 3. Let's say I'm removing this heading 3. I've removed this heading 3, but it is still there, right? In introduction, under introduction chapters, it is still there, right? So you click on this update. So once you click on this update this like, since I don't have this heading 3 under the introduction in my documents, it has been removed from the table of contents. Now in update options, you have two different options. Either whether you want to update it only the page numbers or you want to update the entire table. So if you are removing some heading, subheading, then you have to update your entire table, or else you can only update the page number only. So next section is like different page setups and layout, and so in that what will be covering like different margin, the page orientation, page size, and then page different breaks. There is a different breaks like page break and section break. So the use of page break, the use of page break is like suppose certain content you want to start from starting off in documents, certain content. So then you have to give a page break. Or for example, there are 3 types of section breaks. One is new page, odd page, even page, next page, continuous. So four. Continuous, new page, odd page, and even page. 4 types of section breaks. Now, so if you are giving a section break, continuous section break, that so in the same page, the breaks will start from the same page. If you are giving it from continuous, okay. The next page, your new section will start from the next page. Now, if you are giving it an odd section break, your new section will start from odd page, irrespective of whether your previous section like complete, whether previous section has content have whether your odd page or even page, that doesn't matter, but your new section will start from odd page. Similarly for even page also. For example, you have given your your section one have contain up to 6 page. Okay, then you have started your new new section in an even page. But according, if I consider it continuously, my new section should start from 7 page, right? But it will start from 8 page. Your 7th page will be blank. What, like, you won't show it, it will not show it like in the Word documents, but when you enter the page numbers, that you can see it, like your page numbers, your new section page number will be 8, 6, then 6 jump to 8. Then what will happen, my between page, when you export it your PDF in PDF, or you save it as a PDF, automatically your 7 page will be a blank page. Similarly for odd and even odd page also. In general, we always, sorry, major section, yeah, no, major. So similarly, like for odd page and even page, it is similarly that based on the number of pages will always, if you odd, then the most, like for thesis purpose, we always want, most of the cases always want for a board, so double-sided printing, always want our thesis chapter should start from odd pages, right? Always want it for the right side of page, that is our odd page, right? So your section break for your section should always start from your odd page. So, and same things your page break also. So okay, so let's go one by one. So first your margin. So see, here are multiple margin, that inbuilt margin format is there, right? Multiple format is there: normal, narrow, moderate, wide, mirror. So by default, like here is a mirror margin is there. That, remember, the mirror margin is for our double-sided documents, or mirror margin in double-sided documents. So that will be only useful for your chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. Those you will be printing both sides. Okay, so your initial documents, you don't need the printing on both sides. So in that case, do not use mirror margin. If you are like in your template, if you have selected mirror margin, but when you are creating those documents, initial documents, that you should enable the mirror margin. So better, so for those cases, better to use the custom margin options. So if you select the custom margin option, you will see you have top margin, bottom margin, left margin, right margin, right? Now here you have default values of 2.54. Next option is the gutter. That is, the gutter is, you have to give certain amount of spacing in the binding side. If you are doing single side printing, then binding side will be your left side. So the left side you should give extra amount of indent or space for the binding purpose. That is nothing but gutter. Okay, if you are binding it from right side, that you have to give gutter in the right side. If you are, it is top. In some documents we do binding at the top. So then gutter, you have to give the gutter amount at the top. Now for both side documents, you just only need to the multiple pages. Under the multiple pages, see, you have different options: normal, mirror margin, 2 pages per sheet, book fold. So normal documents is single-sided. What about the single-sided documents? Two pages, like two fold. Sorry, 2 pages. 2 pages per sheet is like you have like in a single page you have, for example, in an A4, I'm printing in an A4, so that you have 2 pages in a single sheet. If you are trying to print that in that manner, then you can select it. But in general, we don't do that, right? So the suitable option is for us, if we are doing it both side printing, is a mirror margin. Now see, once you select the mirror margin, your gutter positions, see, gutter position, you cannot edit now gutter positions, right? Only thing is that you have to give the gutter amount. How much amount you want for binding? Okay, automatically the documents based on the inside and out. Now it becomes inside and outside. It is not a left and right. It becomes an inside and outside. Inside is the binding side, and outside the opposite side. So for example, I'm giving it as 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter. gutter side. Now there is one thing you see, apply to whole document this point forward, whole document and this point forward. So if you want these settings applicable to your whole document, then you have to select it whole document, or else if you want it from this point onwards, whatever the contents you have written, after that you want this settings to applicable. So then you need to select this point forward. When you need this point forward, for example, in between your documents, you want a single page that has to be in landscape. Your whole documents is in portrait mode, but certain, for example, you want to enter some tables that you need a landscape orientation page. So during that you need this, that you need to give the section break, and that section break only for only this section, or for from this point onwards. And then again, once you complete, after, for example, you need two pages in landscape orientation. After 2 page, again you need to change it from portrait to the option. You have options, you have options like orientation option, portrait and landscape. Then you change it, and again from this point onward, so that will change your documents orientation. Or if you want a certain, say, same things like for your initial documents, you don't need mirror indents, but for later documents, the chapter 1, chapter 2, you need mirror indents. So these options will be applicable, will helpful to you to do that, your initial documents and then chapter, or if you want to add in between any landscape page. So I'm keeping it as a whole document for timing and keeping it. Now these settings you can set it as a default setting. You can change the default setting, or if you don't want to make it as a default settings for only for particular sections, then click on OK, or else you can click set as a default. So you see the margin, how much the margin, because I have selected mirror margin. You see here the margin, here is a margin this side indented, like a mirror margin is right side indented. Here in these pages the mirror margin is right side indented, that because it is an even number of page. It's the 4th page. It's the 4th page of my documents, right? If I go to the 5th page, see here the indentation is in left side. As I told you, this gray color is our amount of indent. In the roller, this gray color is amount of indent. But there is no change in top and bottom. If you see, there is no change in top and bottom indent. If you see the top indent, 5th page, whatever the amount it is, similar amount is in 4th page also. There is no change in top and bottom, because the mirror indents is only applicable for left and right. That is your inside and outside. Now the page orientation in general, we have the page orientation as a portrait, but you have certain requirement, then you need a landscape orientation. Same thing, page size. So general, like we do printing in the A4 size. If you want to print in some others, that's letter size or legal size papers, so then you accordingly you can change your the page size. Now comes the column. So like if you see the papers like you have the content, have the two columns. The contain, most of the papers have two columns, right? The content, the text has the 2 columns. So this is where it is useful. The columns you can make it your text 3 column, 4 column, 2 column as per requirement. So you see, I have selected as 2 column, so my text becomes a 2 column, right? If it is a 3, 4, according to your requirements, whatever you want, you can. make it. So if it is 3, then it is now comes to break. See here for page break, one is page break that will comes to from next page, and then you have column break. So column break is like I have, so right now what I have done, like for examples, my half page of my column I want as a half page of my content I want as a 2-column page. Later from that point onwards I don't need the column, I want a single column. Okay, so here you have to give the column page break. So this is for only if you are like certain amount of text you want as a column and then single column. And page break is next page, that is from your new page will start from the next page. So for example, so you have given us a next page, let's say at the end of my first documents, I'm at the end of the first page I'm giving a page break here. You see, when I'm adding any content, I have given page break here in this documents, right? So I have given page break in my first document. Now if I in general what should happen, like if I didn't give the page break, the content will automatically go to the if I add something that will go to my second page. But now since I have given a page break here, so if I am adding something here, you see it is starting a new page inside this section. You're starting a new page because here you have given a page break, that this content you have given page break because you want this content, the third page content, in a new page. Okay, so the previous the content from previous page will not merge with from from with the second page or the third page here. If you are adding something, that will you create a new page only. So use of this kind of page break is like you have inserted an image, and that image you want it start from the page or top at the top or at the bottom. So then you will give a page break so that your image should not you move with the text, or it should in the same page where you have written something in the same page. So in that case, in such cases, you should use the if you need such scenario, or if you have such scenario, such requirement, then you can use the page break. I'll ask me later. Now let's say the section break, section A break. So the section break will be more easier. Like when you create it, it will be more easier to discuss when you create our the custom template documents. Now so just for time being, you see the similar things as what I have discussed. You have next page, section break, continuous, even page, odd page. So continuous. So this we will discuss on we'll see with an example when you create the custom template tomorrow. See here also in the layout options, you have some shortcuts for giving some space or left and right indents. So this is default value, whatever default value that you have given, these are the default values. Now for some particular paragraphs, if you want to change some things, so, you don't need to go to the here, you can change it from these shortcuts or in these groups under the layout. Yeah. So again now here.
Change the spacing from here, from layout. We change for the all the headings.
No, whatever the text you have selected, it will be changes on the selected text, not over the whole documents.
But if we change there,
They are like that will change your whole documents. If you change it in styles or that will change your whole documents. But this thing is for a particular section, the paragraph that you have selected. So similarly, the line numbers. So if you want to give line numbers in your text, in your documents, that using that options, you can give it as line numbers. So so if you want the continuous line number for each pages, then you have continuous options. The restarting from starting from for each page, if you want to restart it, then you have restart each page, then restart each section. So those are the options there based on your requirements. It's like easy to follow. So based on your requirements, you can select if you want to give your line numbers. Now you have hyphenation. So the hyphenation is nothing but like that we have discussed for the justified justified the justified alignment. So to make the space uniform, then if you use the hyphenation that for certain in a certain word like some letters will be in your first line and then second line it comes up with some other letter. So rest of the letter. So then in between there will be a hyphen. So it defines that this is a single word. Right, so that is required when you are using justified alignment to make the spacing between the word uniform. Tea break, Abhi? Huh? Okay, we'll have a 10 minutes of tea break. Ka bahar hai. So the tea is outside, so if anyone wants.
Yeah, we will have a quick tea break, and for those who have not signed on the stage, kindly for each session there will be different attendance. Kindly.
Excuse me, sir. Pardon, sir. Hello? 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 हेलो मेरे को लग रहा है आगे से करते हैं उन्होंने हेलो
Does anyone have any questions from online? I think one of you have raised your hand. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself or else I'll start. Unmute and then talk, or we'll start. Or you can type it in chat box also.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, can you tell again what is for hibernation?
Yeah, sure. So someone from online asked how the hyphenation is worked to give you the example. So let's see how it is worked. Hyphenation. So see the hyphenation now here selected as a none, right? Hyphenation I have selected as a none. Now if I selected automatic hyphenation, just see the documents how it is changing. So this is the documents is in justified alignment, right? So I'm selecting a hyphenation as an automatic. You see how it is changing here. This hyphen is coming to to make it an uniform spacing word in the paragraph. To make it an uniform spacing word, there is automatic and the hyphenation is coming. That if you select it as an hyphenation as an automatic, so you don't need to do anything. Whenever if the word cannot accommodate the complete word in the single line, then automatically some of the later will go to the next line. Okay, with an hyphen to to show it that it's a single word. Okay, so my personal suggestion is do not do that. You just make it, and if it is now, otherwise what will happen, you will have a multiple number of hyphen in your document, so that will not look good, right? So always keep it as a none. You can edit manually. If you are in the if some of the paragraphs you are thinking that you should add some hyphenation to make it to reduce the space, so space between words, so then you can make it and you can do it manually, but do not select this automatic hyphenation one. Otherwise, you see in that into the every paragraph you have one or two hyphenation here for automatic one.
Okay, sir.
चेतन चेक करना है कोई ऑनलाइन पे कोई किसी का कोई क्वेरी आएगा तो बताना, चेक करना. So the next topic is inserting and formatting different figures, tables, and equations. Okay, so now let's start with the inserting and figure. Just give me a second. Now I guess you all know how to insert any figure in there. So you need to go to the insert, and then pictures. So you go to the the location that you want. So let's say I'm adding from one of my picture. Let's say this one. So now, this is one of the figure that I have added. So inserting a figure, this is, so you can change your size and all these things accordingly. You can drag it to change the size. Okay. So also you can do it here itself using this layout option. Here this dialog launcher box. Here is the size. So one thing, one thing said I forgot to tell you about. There is one tab that is called contextual tab. So the contextual tab is like, in general, you will not find it in the Word. Like it depends on certain object. For example, you have added certain pictures, or you have inserted some table, or some text box, or some shape. So then you will get those contextual tab. It based on like previously on this was not there. This picture tool formats was not there. Once I inserted a picture, this tab came, right? So this is nothing but the contextual tab. Based on your context, it will come. So this call is contextual tab. So when you insert an equations, then you will see the equation, the tab for formatting equations. Then when you add some object or some shape, that will come to change or format those shapes. It will come for shape formatting shape. Same thing, similar thing for table also. So now here you have different shape is there now. For certain images, if you want to change if you want to remove your background, that also you can. But if you are doing it in Word, so it will not look good. So don't do it in Word. You can, if you want to remove it, you can use some other software. And then same the corrections, the color correction, if you want, that is not necessary, I guess, for this. But here is one option is there, set transparent color. If you want to make your background as transparent background, that here using that you can do it. And for example, I have white, like it is already in transparent. My background, the image background is already transparent background, so there will not be any changes. But if you have your different background, you want to make it a transparent, then using this make a transparent background, that you can do it. So these are some options like picture borders and effects and all. So those things you can go through it by yourself. The important thing is the position and the wrap text. So the position is, if you have certain positions, if you want to fix it in a certain position, whether it is the left, right, left corner, or the right corner, or it is, or you want it at the center of your document, then you can use this position, the position one. So it will your position of your image will be fixed. It will not change with your text. The position of image will be fixed in that case. So these are the different options like you can use if you want to fix positions of your image, or else you need to select the that wrap text. You see this wrap text option. You have inline with text. You have square. Let's say I'll add some. Along with that, I'll add some contain. So see here the wrap text, inline with text. You have inline the square. You have see how those the text are changing. You see how those text are changing. So inline, then you square, tight, throw, top and bottom. In most of the cases, what we will be using the top and bottom wrap text. We want our the text at the top and at the bottom. left and right, we don't want any text for our like thesis writing cases, or maybe the paper research paper writings. Mostly we use that the top and bottom wrap testing. Inline text is there's a difference in line text. The first line will start from where your the figure like end from the bottom end of this figure. Let me show you. Like if you select the inline text, see that inline text started from where your the figure from the bottom of the text. Now if you have top and bottoms, you don't have this the starting from that positions. So these are the two difference between so if you see that option now we'll get an idea like how your text will look like. See that in the text, see inline text, if you see the icon of inline text, you'll get an idea how your how your text will look like if you select this positions. For example, square. So square is like your the image will be at the centers, and you will have both side like left, right, top and bottom. The text will be on the four side, left, right, top and bottom. Thus, similarly, like tight is similar to the square, but here in that case it will like the margin there will not be any margin between your figures and the text. Then you have throw. So these are not so much important. So throw is like you see you can put your image anywhere, you can move your image. So the important here is this top and bottom and the options move with text. So move with text is important, like if you are adding something, certain words, so then your image will move with the text, whatever the text you have, that will move with your text. So mostly we'll be using the top and bottom along with the so you have to enable the move with text. If you want it to fix on in a certain positions, then you have to select it fixed position on page. Or else if you want to move it with the text, with your text, then select you have to enable the move with text. Okay, so let's select the top and bottom here, top and bottom, and so you can change it from here, wrap text, or once you select this you will have this magnet button here, layout option. For layout options you have this here also. From here also you can change it, or you can change it from the format tools. So now if you want, for example, now you want for like your paragraphs, if be the space between your image and paragraphs, you want certain amount. There is a default values is there, but you want your the customized value. For example, so you wanted 1.5 centimeter. My the figures and my text should have a space of 1.5 centimeters. To do that, you just you can click on the see more options and then text wrapping. So here you will find see left and right, top and bottoms. These are the distance from text is there. So from there you can select whatever the amount you want. For example, I want 0.2 centimeter space between my figures and the text is 0.22. Here I have spacing of 0.2. Now if I let's say like give some more value. So I have 1 centimeter of spacing. So you can use whatever you want, but I have, so let's say give it a 1 centimeter spacing. So whenever you add your pictures or any figures, that will have a space. Your space between your text and the figures will have 1 centimeter of space. No, if you can reduce it to 0.5, 0.75, whatever you want. So whenever you require that, you just click on that figures and that this magnet signs, and then go to see more. And here under the text wrapping options, you will find it. Now again, if you can change your size of the image here from here itself. Now for examples, you want to lock your aspect ratio. You don't want to change your aspect ratio. Like if your image is square image, you want it as a the square only. So you just to do that, you just need to enable the lock aspect ratio only. Now again, so for in some cases maybe you want to reduce the height, not the width. So what you have to do, you have to deselect the lock aspect ratio. Or else if it is enabled, for example, so see, let's say I am changing the height and I'm enabling the lock. Yes, the lock aspect ratio is enabled, right? So let's say I'm changing the height. See, automatically, when I change the height, automatically my this width also change, because I have here this one is selected as a lock aspect ratio. I have locked my aspect ratio. I don't want to change my aspect ratio, right? Now let's say now I have disabled it, and I'm making this one as an 7. Sorry, this one. So this one, if you select this one, then it will come. So from there, see more. So see, now what I have done here, I have just disabled the log aspect ratio. Now I have changed my height to 7 centimeter, but whatever width is there, it remain intact, right? So in this way, you can change your size of the image accordingly. You can also change it from here also, but here the thing is that if you change your height, then it the aspect ratio is here. The aspect ratio is locked, right? You can change it there from there also. So your aspect ratio is locked here. So from here, if you deselect it, then you can change your individually height and width.
Can we paste these images in the Word file? This box is fine, like normal box.
Okay.
But sometimes when we paste it the same TIFF image, the box becomes like this, and we cannot even edit anything like this. So do you know what is the difference?
Okay, this is what is connected. This image is connected. You have directly pasted it from the origin, right?
PPT.
From PPT or something. So that is means connected. This one is means the connected. It is connected with some other applications to something like some other application. So if it is connected to some other application, then the border will show like this. So like if you are editing this file to in that, for example, you have imported from origin, there is options like you can import your images.
This is the TIFF file image which I copied and pasted.
Yeah, for that also. If you double click on it, most probably it will go to that. It will go to that. If you double click on it, not opening, right?
No, it is not linked. That's why I'm saying.
Okay.
Sometimes it happens. Not really.
Okay, generally, like what I have seen is like those are the linked images. So that only these things is come. So if you double click on it, so if it is from imported from origin,
relevance of this borderline.
Yes, that is linked one.
Linked one.
So like if it is from, for example, origin, then if you double click on that, it will automatically open it in your origin. If you want to edit and if you want something, if you edit something to the origin, that will automatically change here itself. If it is so. Maybe like okay, I'll check this one once again.
We can.
Yes, I'll check this one.
I want to be getting this layout option.
Okay, click on that.
And I just put this from like this insert option.
Okay.
Like, here I did insert, then pictures, then like this was the picture I inserted. Then also it is coming like this border line, like not used from there.
Okay. So
and there is no layout option showing. Another thing is in picture format, this background image or something that is also not coming.
Okay, it's like you most probably you cannot
Changes square.
Good morning, you told me source formatting and then formatting. For pictures also, we use that source one won't come.
Sorry.
If you are pasting something from your website.
Yeah,
that's
but
formatting.
it's not pasting. You have here just inserted it. Yeah, so that should come. Okay, this thing I'll check once because this one. What is this function of this thing? Anchor. This anchor. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Actually, need you to do the review your documents or that some page break and all these things. So that I'll discuss.
सर आपने ये रेशियो अगर हम लोग लॉक कर देते हैं तो जैसे कि ये अगर पिक्चर है तो इसने जहाँ से भी जो सोर्स है इसका इसने जहाँ से भी कॉपी किया है इसको कॉपी पेस्ट किया है लेकिन अगर मतलब कि इसकी डायमेंशन स्क्वायर होनी चाहिए
नहीं, जो एस्पेक्ट रेशियो है फॉर एग्जांपल मेरा जो मेन इमेज है वो 200 पिक्सल बाय 100 पिक्सल है तो वो इसका एस्पेक्ट रेशियो 2:1 है एस्पेक्ट रेशियो 2:1 है वो जो अब अगर आप ये 200 बाय 100 है अगर आप जो ना हाइट अगर 400 कर दिया तो वो 200 वो डबल हो जाएगा 100 भी 200 हो जाएगा वो अगर लॉक एस्पेक्ट रेशियो रखें
डिपेंड करती है कि सोर्स जो पिक्चर है
हाँ उसका एस्पेक्ट रेशियो क्या है वो जो इमेज का जो एस्पेक्ट रेशियो है सेम एस्पेक्ट रेशियो का हम रखना चाहते हैं अदरवाइज क्या होता है कुछ टेक्स्ट होगा तो जैसे कोई टेक्स्ट होगा तो हम अगर कोई एक लाइक हाइट को हम चेंज करें लेकिन विड्थ को चेंज नहीं करें तो क्या वो स्ट्रेच हो जाएगा वो स्ट्रेच हो जाएगा ये टेक्स्ट स्ट्रेच हो जाएगा या फिर वो कुछ स्ट्रेच हो जाएगा तो उसके इसमें
एस्पेक्ट रेशियो को हम लोग डिसेबल कर देंगे
हाँ तो इंडिविजुअली आप चेंज कर सकते हो
Block है. I don't know. Select नहीं हो रहा है. नहीं, when I'm changing this.
relative to original.
हाँ.
No, this one you don't need relative to
Yeah.
log aspect ratio. If you are changing log
Yeah,
aspect,
this I can change. Changing this.
click select and OK.
Oh, okay.
That
okay.
you change already, right? Then I am getting these options, but for him, he's getting a lot of more options. Why is this? Sorry. Like this web text, he's getting that option. It could be your custom setting. Because of your custom setting, like this is a shortcut, right? Shortcut. So that yes, that you can do it from the from here, and then your options from options, and you'll have this customized ribbon. So here somewhere it will be there. Okay. Once after the sessions, I'll check this one. It is only just you can whatever, like if you want to remove some part and you want to add something, so that you can do using that option and customize ribbon customization. Now, so again, here is the crop options. You can crop your photo and crop your images or figures here itself. Now, you have different options here. Like you can crop your figures in a certain shape. For example, you want to crop your figures in a circle, or in a like something hexagon or something like that. So to do that, you have to select from here, copy to shape. Copy to shape from you select the copy to shape and you can select whichever shape you want. For example, I want it in a circle in the circular shape. So click on circular shape. See my so it cropped into a circular shape, right? So if you want to in any other shape, that also you can do it. But in the now for cropping purpose, that options you can used directly crop options you can use. So right now, if you have extra amount of your white spaces in your figure, so that you can crop it here in Word itself. Chetan? मेरे इसमें एक लैपटॉप है हाँ, उसमें पासवर्ड में तू ऑन कर, मैं खोल देता हूँ, एक कुछ फाइल कॉपी कर। So any doubt regarding this inserting pictures and how to the formatting this your the figures, any figures? If not, then I'll go to the next part, the inserting tables. एक तो ये कुछ दिखाना है इन लोगों को, तो इसके लिए मुझे फिगर, एक हाई क्वालिटी फिगर चाहिए, तो है नहीं। इसको कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं क्या करते हैं? नहीं, छोड़, हो जाएगा। थोड़ी देर कॉपी करो। नहीं होगा जब तक डाउनलोड नहीं होगा, ये ड्राइव में अपलोडेड है। जाएगा। डाउनलोड होने के बाद बताऊंगा, 1 घंटे में आ जाएगा। यही सिलेक्टेड, लेकिन ये वाला अच्छा है, ये वाला कंपैरिजन अच्छा है। कैंसर bring forward like for example, see you have two different images, so you want to merge two images with one, like above you want to add some text, right? Text, so sometimes what happen, like a text will go to the behind their images, so you want text to show it above your image, so then in that case bring forward or bring back, those things you can use. So for example, हो गया, वो कॉपी कर। Okay, so any doubt regarding this figure? Okay, so let's move on to that inserting tables now. So similarly to insert tables, you go to the insert and then from here you have the table option. So there are two ways you can insert. Either you can insert from there if you know this number of based on how many numbers of columns and how many number of row you have. So based on that you can select this ones, or else you can say insert tables. So here you can define how many numbers of columns you have and how many numbers of row you have. So from that you can do that. Now here you have different option like fixed column width. If you want to keep your column all the columns with fixed uniform. For example, say have three columns. So if each column you want each column having a width of 2 centimeters. So then you can select this one, that fixed column width, or else auto fit content based on your contents. Whatever the contents you have in individual column, so based on your contents, if you select this one, so based on the MS Word will automatically auto fit your the column width. So auto fit to window. Whatever the contents you have, your window the text area. In the text area, all the columns will fit it in the text area. So these are the three options. So mostly, let's say we'll go with the auto fit to contents. Based on the content, our MS Word will decide how much amount of which should be there in a particular width. Okay, so for examples, we are making 3 with a 3 column and 5 row. See, right now we do not have any content, so that's why it's the minimum. So once you add the content, so let's keep it. So here, yeah, I have selected fixed column width. So see, each column I have is like uniform width, right? So for examples, so for example, this is my column. These are my headings, serial number, instrument, and their make. Okay, so these are just an examples of table. So see, once I've created my columns, so here I have a contextual table of tables. I have design, I have layout. So design is there. Here you can select multiple. There the multiple design format is there. So based on your requirements, you can select whichever you want. So you have multiple here. Let's say we'll be using. Let's say I'm interested in this format. Okay, so serial number. So let's say these are some XYZ company, the maker or some XYZ company. So if you want to give any shade here, so that you can give your whole contains whole table like shape or something like that. If you want to give it, that you can do. So in general we don't want. So we don't get simple table for our thesis or research papers. Then you have, so if you don't want certain borders, or if you want to remove certain borders, then from there you can. So for examples, here in these columns, I don't want the top and bottom border. So just you go there. So you select the top borders. It is already there, right? See the top borders. If I select the top borders now, I don't have the top border. Top borders has been removed. Same things for bottom border. If I don't want the bottom borders, so this is bottom borders. Why it's not same bottom borders? I do not have top and bottom borders. Again, you can insert it again. So just click on the top and bottom borders, or if you select the all borders, then you'll have left and right border also. Currently, I do not have right and left and right borders. All borders means you will have left, right, top and bottom, both the borders, right? So accordingly, you can change. I'll give bottom border. So this using these ones, you can draw your border also. So if you just drag it over here, you can draw your borders. Similarly, here also just drag it. Now, if you want to change the thickness of your border, so from there the thickness can be changed. So you select this whole table and then change it. So then you have to brush it again. Also, that's our border color changing. So the border color, pen color also this is change. You can change border style. If you wanted these are the different styles available here. So we can use the different border style. So then again you have to brush it here. So accordingly, if you want it, you can do it. Border style. These are the just the different border in the border different border styles and all these things. So then if you want to change it, then you can change it accordingly. Then come to the layout section. So now layout sections, you have the draw tables. If you want to add another, you want to draw some things using the draw picture, so that you can do it. So for example, if I want to divide this one is into two, so you can do it, right? That because I changed it here. So you can draw same thing, erase. So whichever line you want to erase, you just click on that over that line, that that one will be erased. Now delete option, you have certain delete options. If you want to delete entire table, that you can. If you want to delete particular row or particular column, from that you can select. To delete cell, you want to delete particular cell, then you will select the delete cell options. Columns, for columns, if you want to one or two columns you want to delete, so then for example, I want to delete this columns, this whole column. I want to delete this column, so go and delete columns. So only that columns has been erased. Okay, for example, I want the last row. I don't want my last row. I want to delete it. Delete rows. My last row been erased. So and if you choose the delete tables option, then your entire table will be deleted. Okay. So same. Now after you want to add one more tables, either in left or right. So there are options is to add your row and columns inside above, inside below. So you have selected, for example, you have selected these three. So if you insert above, so above 3 one columns will be created. Insert below, so in that way you can add wherever you require. Same thing left and right also. If you want, these are the for row. Now if you want to add your column also, or left position or right positions, whichever position you want, you can do it. Now coming to the merge cell is you can if you want to merge one or two cells or multiple cells, so using that merge cell options you can merge it. So say I want to merge this as a single. See now this two is becoming my one single column. single. So this the multiple cells has been become a single cell line, right? March cells, and then split cell again. You want to split it again. Again, you want to split it. For example, now I want to split these cells into two. If I want to this cell into two, so you have now you have to give how many columns you want for that. So for example, in that particular row, I want two columns. So this is column number 2, row number 1. You say it has been like you have here you have like two columns and one row. Now if I change the number of row, let's say 2 by 2. You see, I have two columns and two rows. This is for splitting. Now split table. So when you are writing the literature in tabulate form, so you have, let's say I have a 50 number of literature. So it is very difficult to write it in a single page tables, right? So what you have to do, you it will automatically go to the next page or something like that. So here you can use the split table. So split table, like after certain pages, then you can go splitting the tables and next page will start from the next page. So you don't need to if you are removing something, for example, generally manually I can do that. Generally after certain, for example, 20, I'm able to accommodate 20 literature in first page, and then rest of the I'll start from a new table. I'll create a new table and start from the next page. Now what happened that, for example, now I have to add, like if I want to add my literature year wise, so in between I have for example, I want to add one or two more literature. So then what will happen? You will add in two more literature, then the formatting will be very difficult for you. But if you use the split table, you don't need to bother about whenever you are adding, whatever you are adding in between or with top and bottoms, whatever you are adding. But accordingly, page wise, what will split the tables? Accordingly, what will split the tables? Like you are adding in between, you are adding between something to from the bottom to two row will be shifted to the next page if you use the split table option. Yeah, next page. But again, the formatting will be very difficult for you. The split table should be easier. And one more thing, if you are using the split tables, then what will happen? Like automatically, whatever the heading you have every page automatically will take that heading also.
Down and table remains same. If we keep the spacing.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you again. So I'll show it to you. Yeah, that so the custom template I have a contain in that. So I also have a practice session for that. So I created a problem, so that will see it tomorrow. So now these are some orientation of your text or alignment based on like center alignment or in middle of center alignment. So these are like by the image you can see that like how your text alignment will be if you select. So these, for example, if I change this, so this is the center alignment. So everything will become in the center. Row wise, like at the the horizontal and vertically both are at the center. Horizontal also it is at the center position. Vertical also is at the center position. This one. So same thing for like if I want this one. So these are the some as per your requirement depend. Trail margin. So here the trail margin same similar thing same trail margins. Similarly, like what is the page margin is? The trail margin is like you have the border. So the margin is distance between your text and the border line. So if you don't want any margin, then you can keep it at 0. Like here in this case, default case is your top and bottom margin is 0. But left and right have some value 0.9 for left and right margin. If you don't want, you can keep it as a 0. Yeah. So that repeat header rows. So with that split table that I talked. So split table, now you have to enable the repeat header rows so that every page, whenever you are the new table or continuous table will be starting. So whatever the header you have in the page at the starting, the same header will be continue throughout the documents. If you are splitting the table in multiple pages for multiple pages. So now here, this is now the important thing is properties. So properties, see here this text wrapping option. Sometimes you will see that like when you have some table in a page, then you will not be able to and insert some text like you have space in that particular page, but you will not be able to enter the text at the bottom of the table. That if you are facing such issues, you directly go to the properties, and then you will see that this option is enabled. Like tab wrapping is around. Tax wrapping is around. If it is there, if you are facing such problems like your the figure or the table captions is not like is shifting from some next pages or something. So then in that case, you go to the properties of tables, you will find that your tab wrapping is around. So from around, you change the text wrapping to none. Then you can insert your text at the bottom of your tables, or you can insert your that caption, table captions. Okay, we'll see a like practice problems tomorrow for all these cases. So let's see this around. Yeah, they are. So layout, and you have these properties. Okay, so any doubt about or anything, any queries regarding this inserting tables and formatting? So then next we'll go to the next part. So next is inserting equations and symbols. So similarly, then under the insert tabs, you have this equation tabs and symbols. So if you want to insert an equation, click on this equation tabs. Now here you have different operators based on what I use. So for example, if I want an like equations of, for examples. So now I have equation, let's say dy. So those equations. So now if under the insert tab, you have the equation options, right? So from that, the fraction option is there. So from that fraction option, what you like, you need to select the operator, then fraction operator. So you have fraction operator here, directly dy dx is there. Now in your case, instead of y, you may have dt dx or dt dt. Like, so if such cases there, like you go to there, select this one, and then you can accordingly you can write your equations, right?
Sir, your screen is not visible.
on here. Okay, so any equations you can use, you can insert it. No, no, just ignore it. Draw is ignore it. It's just for my like to just ignore the draw tab. So see, yeah. Under insert tab, you don't have but I can click it. Okay, you can't insert in the like. Okay, same. It's under table, I guess. That is why you are not. Start new documents. Yeah. So because maybe it's inside the tables or this one, right? This one. Maybe it's because of this one. I'll check. Something is there in formatting. Okay, let's start for time being. Let's start a new document. So where you have different, like see the different structures, different operator, different structures. You have fractions, you have script like e power x or x to the power or something like that. So you have different script. You have radical operators here, integrations, the large operators. You have different brackets, fractions, function, different function like sine, cos, and trigonometrical functions, logarithmic functions. These are the functions, all the functions. So you have the s and r like you sometimes I need like y dot or y bar or y dash. So for those kind of things, you have these structures. Then again, limits and logarithms, different operators, matrices. So these are some inbuilt operators there. So using this you can easily you can easily write down your equations if you are working mostly if those who are working in modeling part. So this part is very important. Like most of the thesis part will be your equations part. So that is useful. Or else you can use some third-party software also to write your equations. Previously there used to be like on in the MS Word there used to be an equation editor. You can create a shortcut in that. So now with this current version, so you don't have that options. Previously there used to be an add-on. So you can create a shortcuts and in desktops or somewhere else. That in that script you can write your equations. But currently it is inbuilt in that insert options only. So here you see you have different the Unicode, LaTeX. This is the Unicode options, LaTeX. Now you can like if you know LaTeX, if you want to write your equations in the LaTeX format, so write your equations in the LaTeX format, that LaTeX format, and then click the LaTeX one, this one, then your equations will be your equations, that code or that command will convert into a equations. Okay, and here the convert to options. So this convert to options, the professional and linear. So difference between professional and linear is that if you have selected as a linear, then there might be some like if you and if you want to copy your equation from your documents to somewhere else where equation editor is not supported. So in that case, if you have selected it as a professional, then that equation is not supported in that your destination documents. Okay, if it is not supported by equation editors. So if you are copied it as a linear, then it will support your two. If you are whether irrespective of whether your destination documents are supporting equation editor or not, you can copy it and paste it as it is equation. Okay, you can try it by yourself and see the difference how these two are different, the professional and linear. You see here different symbols are there to write your equations. You need some symbols. So these are the basic math symbols. You can these are like the grouped in category wise. You have basic math, then Greek letters like symbols, operators, arrows. So based on that is the script, geometry. So those things like according to your requirements, so you can select it from there. So this is all about this inserting your equation, inserting your tables, and inserting your figures. Now coming to the giving a caption. So caption is like I said before, for a table of contents you need heading style. For automatic table of contents you need heading style. Similarly, for automatic list of figures and list of tables, you have to insert captions using that insert caption tab and under reference tab. See here you have insert caption. So you have to use this one if you want your list of tables and list of figures, automated list of tables and list of figures. Otherwise you can just write here at the bottom of your table you can write figure 1 this, then next figure 2 this, and this manually you can write it. But when you are creating that your table of contents, then you have to create a list of figures and then list of tables. So you have to do it manually. This is one tedious job. Second is, now in between, if you remove some figures, again you have to review all the figure numbers and all these things. So if you use this insert caption option, don't need to do anything. If you're removing some you're removing figures in between figures. For example, so you have 5 figures, you have removed 3 figures. If the third figures you have removed, so automatically your fourth figures will become 4, fifth figure will become 4, third figure will become 2. In that fashion, so like number will change accordingly. So you don't need to do it manually, right? So let's see, like, so this is the figure. So figure caption, table caption, and equation number. These 3. So now here's the figure. So insert options. So this is the caption, and then whatever the caption you want. For example, let's say this is. Now the so label is, if it is, see you have 3 different figure, table, equation. Now this much case the label is figure, right? Then in position. So figure we generally do below, and for table above the table. So these two. So for example, now this is a figure, so below the selected. Then numbering. Now in some cases you want your figure based on your chapter. For example, my the first chapter figure should be 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. Similarly, for my chapter 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. If you want your figure number chapter wise, then include chapter number. If you want it, then see in this documents, I guess I didn't use the headings and all, so I'm skipping it. For time being, I'm skipping it. When we'll create the master documents, in that we'll see this one. But if you want your chapter number in the captions, then you have to select it, include chapter number. Once you include chapter number, then you can use the separator, whether you want like 1.1 or 1-1. So that things you can select. Yeah. So for example, in general, we do it in period, like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. We don't like it's not look good at 1.1-1 or 1.2. If you want, you can whatever the separator you want to use, you have options here. So from that you can select. And same things, the format, number format. So let's keep it a numeric value. See, because here I didn't select any chapter, or didn't select any heading, so it giving a warning that you don't have any chapter or things. So what cannot give you, like what cannot make it a chapter wise, 1.1, 1.2. So let's deselect these ones, and then okay. See the number came error because I do not have any chapter here. So change it. Should change it here. See, in the chapter numbers, you have error in the chapter numbers. That after that point one is there. After that point two, the chapter is done. That because I didn't define any chapter here. It's just a normal documents here. Yeah. Yeah. No, that if you are you move with you can what you can do either you can group your caption and figure grouped, you can group it, or else if you are selected that top and bottom, so then it will move with the text like including the figure and the captions. Yes, top and bottom.
Delete some figure or add some figure, the numbers are changed. So we cite the figure number and table number inside the text.
Yeah, that cross reference. That also I'll show you too. Cross reference. It should be cross reference. Okay. This one, right? It's coming like that. Fix position. No, it doesn't. Should not. It changes.
There's some technical issue.
Could be.
Because of the text.
Maybe, but it's not coming here.
Even here?
No, your level is not coming. Figure level that should come.
मेरा नहीं होता technical issue.
Compatibility mode. Nice. Can you use some different image and try with changing the images? You just try changing image. So since I don't have any chapter here, so let's change it. So then it text and all these things you can change it from here. I don't need. So this is all about the captioning. Similarly, in a similar fashion, you can give your captions to the table also. You can try it once. So yeah.
Font size I'm giving to the caption, and if for the next figure I want the same font size, how like I'll have to change for each caption.
That style in the styles also the caption is there. That you can change.
Because here I've given this font size.
Yes.
And here when I'm inserting the caption, the
Default is taken.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. So there should be something. Okay. Okay, I have to check and I'll let you know. Figure, sorry. Figure number and grouped. You want to group it. Okay, so just select both the like select your images, then press Control and then select your these two. You select these two, you pressing Control and then right click. You have option group options, then group it. So both your figures and captions grouped in a single. Okay.
But it says that I have to do the number on the. So it's possible not to do number.
Okay, then go to that reference.
Here I am not able to find, but here I can.
Okay.
I think this number.
Exclude level from captions. Let the exclude level from.
Sir, please tell how to group.
Numbering, numbering.
No.
Okay, select from there. Number drop down from drop down. So you have none option.
I checked it is not there.
Okay. So cancel. No, I think there should be certain number should be there.
I think it's only for number.
Yes.
And one more thing, if I want to remove these captions, like I don't need one caption, so I'm not able to delete it from here. See, no selection is happening. I just want to remove it completely. Not only delete.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, come.
Figure table that position is coming, but for
Equations like I'll show it to equations. Figure equations are different.
ग्रुप नहीं हो रहा है.
Okay.
आपने बताया था जैसे कि चैप्टर वाइज हम लोगों को लिंक करना होता है, तो इसने मतलब कि हेडिंग्स बना मतलब कि क्रिएट की है, तो तुमने हेडिंग चॉइस कर लिया है.
फर्स्ट वन के हेडिंग क्रिएट किया लेकिन वो इंक्लूड नहीं हो रहा चैप्टर.
Let's see.
Sir,
हाँ जरूरत नहीं है, ऑलरेडी ग्रुप्ड है. आई गेस चेंज हो रहा है एक के साथ मूव हो.
तुमने कैसे ग्रुप किया था?
ये नीचे नहीं जाना चाहिए, तो नीचे पे जा रहा है.
हाँ, आप एंटर दबाओ तो नीचे वो तो ग्रुप करने के बाद भी जाएगा.
लेकिन वो दोनों एक साथ जाना चाहिए.
नहीं, इन बिटवीन अगर कोई भी चीज आप ग्रुप करके बिटवीन में जाके भी वो एंटर दबाओगे, ग्रुप करने के बाद भी अगर एंटर दबाओगे वो ऑटोमेटिक वो जाएगा ग्रुप करने के बाद भी.
और ग्रुप नहीं होता अगर मैं इसको फिगर को नीचे करता तो ये क्या बीच फिगर ये लाइन यहीं पे रह जाती.
हाँ, नहीं होता है. अगर टॉप एंड बॉटम विथ की मूव विथ टेक्स्ट करने से नहीं होता है, वो मूव होते रहता है अकॉर्डिंगली
और
विथ.
एक से डॉट मुझे देना है ये, तो मैं ये चैप्टर इंक्लूड नहीं, जैसे मैंने एक हेडिंग 1 क्रिएट कर दिया इंट्रोडक्शन का.
हाँ.
तो इसका पार्ट है, तो मुझे अगर हेडिंग 1 में ये देना है तो लिंक तो होना चाहिए ना ये चैप्टर नंबर. ये बोल रहे हैं कि
चैप्टर नंबर आपने कैसे दिया? वो हेडिंग स्टाइल यूज किया था.
हेडिंग स्टाइल दूसरा है बताया.
हेडिंग स्टाइल यूज करना होगा.
वो
हेडिंग स्टाइल यूज
मैंने ये
मल्टीपल लेवल
सिलेक्ट करके. हाँ, वो टेम्पलेट वाला वो सेम हेडिंग स्टाइल लेवल वाइज हेडिंग स्टाइल करके वो करना होगा. हाँ, कल कस्टम टेम्पलेट बनाने के बाद फिर 2 का प्रैक्टिस सेशन है. लास्ट में मास्टर टेम्पलेट में ज्यादा टाइम नहीं लगेगा. हाँ, क्या हुआ? अच्छा ठीक है, मैं बता दूँ. हाँ. Which one? Okay.
So when it sends and give the number.
Yeah, same equations. You just So you just here, you just keep it here and then insert. I'll show it to you. Just similar. Numbering, you have to numbering a mat type format, mat type, whatever number you are giving in mat type, that will not like show it here. Yeah, that you can give it and say add captions. So from here you select equation. You select equation, then click on OK. So the equation number came. Right. Yeah, the 1, 2. So you automatically your equation see it becomes 2. You have given this one is 1, so automatically becomes difference. No difference. Math type is also supported here. So you can give. You can even if you're writing some text, and that also you can give as an equation numbers. So what will I consider this as an equations? For any text also you can give equation numbers. जरूरत नहीं है वो मूव हो रहा है ना सी हाँ बस वही वो इम्पोर्टेंट है वो मूव हो रहा है बस वो हाँ कुछ फॉर्मेटिंग कुछ प्रॉब्लम
ये मेरा जो ये है कैप्शन वाले बाय डिफॉल्ट से सेंटर्ड है, इसमें पोजीशन सिलेक्ट करने का ऑप्शन है।
हाँ ये मैं कल दिखा दूंगा इसमें अभी के लिए बस सेंटर करने के बाद फिर वहां पे चेंज कर लीजिए नहीं वो नहीं होगा इसमें लिखने के बाद उधर हाँ मैं ऑटोमेटिक फॉर्मेटिंग उसमें मैं कल दिखाऊंगा इसका हाँ मैं बता देता हूँ बता दिया ना ओके So I think you will be able to do it for tables also. The similar fashion in a similar fashion. So the only thing is that like when you see sometimes for tables, captions will be at the top. For figures, we'll be using at the bottom. So for table, it is at the top, right? Now, say the equation numbers. Add one equation again. Let's say I have these 4 equations. Let's say I have these 4 equations. I want to give like the numbers. So you are in between the equations and numbers, you need certain space. For example, you need certain space. If you are like, let us first show it to you. So in a similar fashion, go to the reference and then insert captions. Then from drop down, you select equation. Exclude label. So if you don't want like equation on equation to generally you just give the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if it is same thing, similar things, you can use the chapter number here also. Thus in a number, if you go to the numbering option, you have include chapter number. So in that case, it will be 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, those things. Okay. So exclude label from caption. So I need only the number. I don't need any label. In the table and figure, we are interested in label also. That is figure. Label is my figure and table. But for inserting caption for equation, I don't need any label. I just need the number. Okay. So this is number. This is the simple numbers here. So you see that's the equations. It's a equation number 1, but there is no space actually right now. So just using a tab or space, you can give the space here. I'll show you and one trick like how to write these equations. You don't need to every time you don't need to give it the tab for space or some things. tomorrow I'll show it too. But for time being, you just use some you tab to give some space between your equations and the numbers. So see, sometimes like this is the direct one. Sometimes we want the equation number inside a bracket. So just to do that, you just same things, captions. You select a new label, give it a start your bracket, and then once you then close zero bracket. Okay. So similarly so this will be your equation number 2. So automatically you have already given your label. So now you need to close your brackets and then equation 2. So give it a split tab. So this is all about the inserting captions. You are so in like the chapter number, since you didn't consider, so I'm not able to show this how this chapter number included the chapter number. So we'll see it tomorrow, like when you will create the custom templates. Then now coming to that, in the text in the body, then like I have inserted 5 figure in the body, like the figure 1 shows or figure 2 shows something. We need to write those things. In the result discussion section, maybe somewhere we write those things. But if I remove certain figure, then what will happen? I have to change my that where I have written figure 1 or where I written figure 3, that may become figure 2 if I remove something, or that may become figure 4 if I add something. So that what I need to do, again I need to do it manually, right? So if you use the cross reference, there is an options cross reference. If you use the cross reference when you are writing those kind of things, then the figure 1 shows, or the equation 1, equation 2, or from the table 1 we got this, and that. If you use the cross reference, same things, you don't need to do that. But if the problem is here, if you did some mistakes in that, then when you convert your documents to PDF, there will be an error, the bookmark not found. So be careful with that. Like once you convert your documents to PDF, you just cross check, or maybe you find and replace that where do I have this kind of line in my documents, error, bookmark not found. So you have to cross check at least this one, maybe when you are writing thesis or something. So you have to cross check at least this one when you are using the cross reference, that you need to cross check. Sometimes if you did some mistakes, it might happen. So that you need to cross check. So let me show you how you can edit. So let's say I want here, I'll be writing that figure 1. That figure 1 shows something like that. So what I'll go, same things are go to reference. Then you have option there, cross reference. Right here the cross reference. Now you see you have options here. So what you want a cross reference of figure, right? Sorry. Figure, then whatever the figures you have in your documents, it will show it here for which captions. You need to select for which caption. Okay, so I have only one figures here, so that's why it is showing at one figure. If you have in your documents multiple figures, all the figures, you will see all the figures here. Okay, now here insert reference to, whether you want an entire captions or you want in only level and numbers or caption text, what you want. So whatever you want, you can do. So for example, I need only the figure 1, that is my label and number, only the label and numbers. I don't need the captions, right? So select only label and numbers, insert, close. See, you have figure 1. So figure 1 say inserted. Figure 1 shows something like that. Text, some text is there. So in that, if you are in that, if you are added in the some cross reference, then again if you change the figure number, if you are inserted some other figures in between that, so automatically this will change. Your figure number, your cross reference will change. Similarly for table, similarly for equation, you can cross check it, insert some like once you give some cross reference, then you add some other figures and insert captions and see how it's varying. So this can be your like homework or something like that, so that you can check, right? The similarly you can do it for table, and as well as the same things for cross reference here. Reference, that cross reference, so here instead of figures you can equations, you can use equations. So I don't have in this document, I do not have any equation, that's why this these are in that for which captions you don't have, I don't have anything. Same things for table also, since I don't have any table here, so shall I continue till 5 so that I can complete the header and footer part?
Yes, sir.
Delete the figure, the caption will not go not get deleted.
No, that you can delete both captions. You delete both the captions and figure.
Not directly connected.
No, you have to like your important things that if you are deleting a figure, you have to delete the captions also if it is not grouped. You have to say, otherwise like in your documents, what will consider, yes, their figure is there. Your everything's like figure. What will consider is your caption, not the figure. The caption, whatever the caption is given, that is being tracked by Word.
The caption, font, and size, all these things, we have to change it manually.
No, I'll show you tomorrow. I'll show you the default settings, how to set the default settings for that caption and alignment and orientation, all this. So now header and footer. So like for example, now in starting with another general header, like I want a same header for all my pages and same footer, for example. So what, it's a simple thing. So just you can double click at the top of your documents, then your header and footer will enable, or else you can go to most probably insert, and then you can click on the header. Then wherever you want, you can give it based on the comment. So let's say I want a single header for both my cases. So introduction. So you can change your orientation. You can change your like alignment, whether you want to left aligned, right aligned, or center aligned. So let's say it's let's make it the left aligned. Then in the footer, I want only the page numbers. I don't need anyone. So I just need a page number. So you just insert, go to insert, and then you can add your page number. So page number at the bottom of the page. This is at the bottom of the page. So anyone you can select. For example, let's say I'm giving it a center. So now close the header. See, this introduction to MS Word you will have in all the pages you have. I have given it on one page only. All the page you have introduction to MS Word, introduction to MS Word, right? So this is about like if you want to like a single header or single footer. Now let's say I want my like header or footer based on my the headings. I want like whatever the headings I want my in odd page. In odd page I want my the first level headings as a header, and in even page I want second level heading as my header. Okay, so that also can be done automatically. To do that, what you have to do, you have to create your document section wise. That has to be based on, you have to give a section break for each chapter. Okay, that we didn't give here. So let's give it a section break for each of that. It's a page break. It was a page break, not section break. So let's give a section break for each chapter. So end of each chapter, I'm giving a section break. Just a next page section break. So see this one, this show the show and hide marker. What is this is a significant or like important for like reviewing your documents. So if you want to see where your page break is there or section break is there, or you have given enter, or if there is any unnecessary enter is there. See, when you are using that like paragraph spacing and line spacing and all these things, so to give a space between your paragraphs, you don't need an enter, because already you have defined in your paragraph format that in between my two paragraphs I should have 6 point of spacing or I should have 12 point of spacing. So I don't need an enter for giving a spaces. If you are giving an enter, so unnecessary there will be an extra space, right? So if you want to see, or if you want to see like whether I have double space in between lines or double space is there, so you just show this marker, enable this marker, then you will see wherever, see here I have given a section break, it is showing a section break. There is an enter. This one represent the enter. The dot, wherever dot is there, that is space, and this flipped P, that is your for enter, and this arrow sign is there, right? One is this arrow sign. This is for tab or indent. This represent your either tab or indent. Okay, so this arrow marker, I'll give you one documents where the different arrow marker what this represents. It is there in this document, so they'll share it to you. So see, this first sections I have given a section break. Next page section break. Similarly, let's give it to here. I have a page break. So let's remove it. So now to remove your page break or something, if you want to remove your section break or you want to page break, so either you can use it delete or backspace. Using delete or backspace, you can remove it. So I have removed my page break. Instead of page break, I'll give a section break. So next page section break. Let's see. Yeah, I have section break here. So similarly, instead of page break here also I'll give section break.
Section break, every chapter will have a different page. Is that what it means?
Every chapter will have different section. Will have different sections every chapter. Now section breaks.
Will be in the same page.
No, it will not be in the same page. Same page is option. Also option is there. Continuous. If you are given a continuous, that is the same page, but the reason that we are doing it for like to have a different header and footer, so that will not be justifiable. So that is why we are giving the section break in the next page. We can give it an odd page or even page. Like for thesis, most of the chapters start from odd pages. Okay, chapter 2. So let's give it here also. You see now I have different sections for each chapter. I have different section, right? Also the table of contents also, let's give it section break in the table of contents also. So in my document I have 6 different sections. One is for my table of content and the document, that is cover page and all these things and rest of these are for my chapter 1 to chapter 5. So total 6 sections I have. Okay. So let's start from 1. So now I want my page number from starting page number till table of contents. But before chapter 1, I want my page number as in Roman. Okay, and then from chapter 1 again it should start from 1 numeric. start from 1 is numeric. So that to do that also you need section breaks. So let's start with the page number. So change the page number here. You go to there. Now you click on the format page numbers. You can select the numbers here. So let's say I need the Roman one. In starting, I need the Roman one. So continue. Let's say the continuous for previous sections. Click as OK. Now see if you see that, like, yes, I have this sections as a number, but it starts from, like, it is continuous from your previous sections. This number, see, like, it should I want my chapter 1 start from numeric 1. Okay, so if you see that, in header you will see that the section number also. Header, this one is, this first 2 pages my section 1, then second page is my section 2, third is section 3. Accordingly, I have the different section. Again, go to this page, and so this is important things. When you are giving different format of header and footer in different sections, don't forget to deselect this link to previous. I don't want to link my current section header and footer with the previous one. Otherwise, it will continue whatever the numbering format you have given, from that it will continue. Okay, so you are giving different header and footer for different sections. Don't forget to delink this one. So link to previous, I am deselected link to previous. Now you change it. Format page. So started. I don't want to continue from my previous sections. I just want it start from 1. See, my page number has started from 1. So this is all about the page number. Now let's say the food header. So header, in one page I want my first level heading. In one page I want my second level of heading. So for example, for time being, I just keep a page break here. Again, same. So in starting, let's get it as it is. Then here, so again deselect your link previous. Okay. Sorry. You can remove it. So option is there. I'll show it to you. So title page, like first page for a particular section, first page don't have any header on different first page option is there. I'll show it to you. Okay, I'll explain it again. Replied ki I'll explain it again from later after once the session completed. So see, here is a different first page. For example, like I don't want if I don't want my first page of a chapter. So I don't want any header and footer at the first page of my chapter. So you can enable the different first page, and now different first page, and then you have options different odd and even page. So as I said, in odd page I want odd in the odd page I want like a first level heading as a header, and even page I want second level heading as a header. So I need to select this one, different odd and even page. For like for this section, let us bother about the different first page. So don't forget to link deselect the disable the link previous. Otherwise, whatever changes you are making, the similar changes will be in previous sections. The same changes will be there in the previous section. So whenever you are giving the different header and section for different section, header and footer for different section, do not forget to delink that the link to previous. Now to give it, so let's say this is my okay. So odd page. In odd page, I am giving the first level. Go to the quick parts. See, all of you go to the quick parts. then field. From here, the field name, there will be a style reference field will be there. This style ref. Okay, from style ref now, which one? What do you want as a header? So what I want a heading one, right? I want heading one in odd page. So select from there heading one. Now field option. What do you want? Whether you want the paragraph numbers or even paragraph or positions or so different option is there. I let's say I don't need paragraph numbers. Okay. So see, chapter one is becomes my header, right? So if I want the along with the text also. So same things along with the text, style ref. Just a second. Just almost done. Okay, somehow the text is not coming for the level or level one. I'll maybe some problems with that. I'll cross check it tomorrow. And see, so similarly now odd pages I have given my header one. For even pages, so similar things like I have given my on the second level header, since the second level header name is heading 2, so you see you got the second level heading here, right? So you see in the second section, so when I came in the second section, in first section, the chapter 1 was my header. When you come to the second chapter, so automatically it becomes chapter 2. My heading becomes chapter 2, right? So here, why I don't have any here, that because like here the first heading is there, so that is the reason, because you don't have here the header automatically for chapter 4, and here is heading 2, all the everything is there, so accordingly you can check these ones. Let's say so, can you ever tell me why I don't have any header here? Because like I have given it for in the one page I have given chapter first level, and one page I have given it second level, right? But I don't have in this page, I don't have any header here, though here I have first level and second level both. Why I don't have header here? Yeah, that is the reason, because I have selected odd and even page, different odd and even page. So these whatever I have changes here in that sections, that odd have changes in odd pages or in maybe in even pages. So those things I need to change. Similar things in the footer also. If I'm selecting different odd and even page, so I have to edit it. I have to format it in both the order in a sections, both odd and even page separately. Okay. Yeah, that you can do it from here itself also, from there also, or when you see from the orientation alignment, from this alignment also you can change it, or when you are selecting this page number orientation, from that also you can change.
Sir. Sir.
Okay, yeah. So
Sir?
So that's all about for today's. Like, if anyone have any doubt or anything, so you can stay or else you can leave. That's all for all today's. So we'll start from tomorrow. Next session will be starting from tomorrow 10 a.m.
Sir?
Few of you have some doubts on heading styles and header and footer. Those who have some doubts, you can stay here. Okay, you go to the insert. Then you have layout. Sorry, layout, and then now you are now you are heading. So now breaks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then
So these are the different sets. Sorry,
Sir? Sir?
so these are the different options: next page, continuous, and even page, odd page. Accordingly. Section break and page break. Okay, I'll yeah, I'll do it.
तो हेडर फुटर वाला कॉन्सेप्ट था, तो सर वो जो इवन ऑर्डर वाला कॉन्सेप्ट था सर, जैसे कि हम लोगों ने मतलब कि और पोजीशन इवन और चूज कर लिया, तो सर जैसे कि वहां पर हमने मतलब कि और पोजीशन पे यहाँ पर हेडर चेंज किया,
जितने भी ऑड उसी सेक्शन का जितने भी ऑड में वो चेंज हो जाएगा ऑटोमेटिकली।
तो अब हम लोगों को
फिर इवन पे करना होगा, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने सिलेक्ट किया कि डिफरेंट ऑड एंड इवन। तो डिफरेंट ऑड एंड इवन क्या होगा, डिफरेंट ऑड पेज में डिफरेंट हेडर है, इवन पेज में डिफरेंट हेडर है। तो वही सेक्शन में वो पर्टिकुलर वो सेक्शन में कोई एक सेक्शन में हमें ऑड में भी हमें फॉर्मेटिंग करना होगा, इवन में भी फॉर्मेटिंग करना होगा। सो दैट एक बार हमने इवन में फॉर्मेटिंग कर दिया एंड होता जाएगा, लिंक टू प्रीवियस रहेगा कुछ सेक्शन, क्योंकि मैं नीचे के सेक्शन में हमें सिर्फ क्या चाहिए, बस वो हेडिंग एंड सब हेडिंग के बेसिस में चाहिए। तो इन दैट केस हम वो लिंक टू प्रीवियस कर सकते हैं। बस फर्स्ट सेक्शन के साथ हम लिंक टू प्रीवियस नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि फर्स्ट सेक्शन का हेडर एंड फर्स्ट सेक्शन का फूटर डिफरेंट है। फूटर डिफरेंट है इन द सेंस द पेज नंबर फॉर्मेट डिफरेंट है, तो इसलिए फर्स्ट सेक्शन के साथ हम लोगों ने लिंक टू प्रीवियस नहीं किया। बट सब्सिक्वेंट सेक्शन में सेक्शन 2, सेक्शन 3, सेक्शन 4 में लिंक टू प्रीवियस क्लिक है। कोई भी बस एक ही सेक्शन में सेक्शन 2 पे ऑड इवन चेंज कर देंगे तो पूरा जितने भी सेक्शन है सब में हो जाएगा, वो चेंज हो जाएगा। हाँ,
वही सर समझाया ना कि शुरू में
हाँ मैं फिर से एक बार रिपीट करता हूँ मैं हेडर एंड फुटर को।
तो शुरुआत में जो फॉन्ट सिलेक्ट करना था सेरिफ और सैंस सेरिफ वो ऑप्शन कौन सा आता है?
नहीं वो जस्ट मतलब वो यहाँ पे तुम्हारा ऑप्शन है ना, ये जो कॉलम ये जो ऑप्शन है, ये जो ऑप्शन है यही है। मतलब शेरिफ में क्या आता है, जो टाइम्स न्यू रोमान एंड ग्रामंड एथलेटिका दो फॉन्ट आता है प्रिंट पे, एंड देन
दोनों का
सन सेरिफ, हाँ सारे इसी में है। वो कैटेगरी है, कैटेगरी है। जो हम लोग करते हैं ये टू है ना, इसको जैसे चैप्टर वाइज के चैप्टर के अकॉर्डिंग इसका नाम चेंज नहीं हो सकता है। चैप्टर के अकॉर्डिंग हाँ चेंज चैप्टर 1 पे 1 या फिर ए बी, या हाँ वो तो में भी ए बी आना है, ए बी आना है या फिर 2.1। हाँ वो तुम्हें वो इसलिए मल्टी लेवल